Have you ever felt it? That tiny chill when a story says, "Don't touch the object." A ring, a chair, a painting that shouldn't be in a home. Tonight, we're opening the cabinet and pulling out the legends people swear are cursed. Not just for the goosebumps, but to ask a harder question. What makes an object feel dangerous long after the maker is gone? You and I live surrounded by history. Most of it is quiet, but a few artifacts drag a storm cloud wherever they go. They don't shout, they just ruin days. Let's start with a classic. A golden mask sealed in a tomb in the Valley of the Kings. Tutankhamun. In 1922, the door is opened. A line is reported in the press. Death shall come on swift wings. Within months, people connected to the digged eye, infections, fevers, a mosquito bite that turned into blood poisoning. Newspapers scream, "The mummy's curse." Here's the part the headlines forgot. Many members of the team lived for decades. Howard Carter, the face of the discovery, died in his 60s of natural causes. Statisticians have looked at the death rates. Spooky? Yes. Outside the normal range? Not really. But the story was perfect. And it never left. Now slide a jewel across the table. Deep blue, reputation blacker than midnight. The Hope Diamond, sold to kings. Stolen from temples, if you believe the legends. Owners divorced, ruined, dead. And yet, the longest owner was the Smithsonian itself. And the stone has survived in a glass box while staff lived normal lives. So what's happening? When wealthy, famous people go broke, we remember. When museum guards go home and eat dinner, we don't. The curse is a spotlight with selective memory. Let me push something smaller into your hand. A wooden box bought off eBay. The Dybbuk Box, supposedly sealed with a restless spirit from Jewish folklore. The seller warned, "Do not open." Of course someone opened it. They reported nightmares, shadows, a chain of bad luck that attached itself to everyone who owned it. Decades later, a writer admitted large parts of the story were invented. But even knowing that, people say they feel bad around it. That's the strange power of a story. It tells your body what to notice. A canvas now. A child with hollow eyes. The Crying Boy painting. In the 1980s, British tabloids connected the print to house fires. Firefighters whispered, "This picture survives the flames." People burned their prints in public. Lab tests later suggested a boring answer. The varnish was fire retardant. The picture fell off the wall face down, protected by glass, and looked miraculously intact in ashes. Is the painting cursed? Or is it just better at not burning than everything around it? A chair next. Rough oak. A pub in North Yorkshire kept it mounted on the wall so no one could sit. Busby's stoop chair. Legend says anyone who sits in it dies quickly. Soldiers, road workers, visitors who tried it as a dare. But consider the math. A busy pub over years, hundreds of people, and a human brain that highlights every death it can connect to a dare. The curse might be the dare itself. How about a jewel with a passport full of dead ends? Black Orlov, the eye of Brahma. Stories say it was pried from a statue and carried a trail of suicides. The gem was later recut and the tragedies stopped. Was it the curse shrinking or the story? Let's go underground. A bronze vase passed hand to hand in Italy, the Basano Vase, supposedly the last gift to a bride who died the night of her wedding. Every later owner meets a strange end. Then, the vase disappears, said to be buried with a warning. We have no confirmed museum records, just retellings. Sometimes the curse is our talent for inventing missing pieces. There are artifacts that feel dangerous for reasons we can measure. Some Victorian wallpapers used arsenic pigments that off-gassed poison in damp rooms. Radium paint on watch dials literally glowed and hurt the women who painted them. Certain museum mummies were preserved with mercury, arsenic, and bitumen. Opening cases released old fungal spores. To someone breathing that, A curse has an odor. Let's talk about why cursed objects feel believable. First, timing. We glue unrelated events together. We say, since X, then Y, and our hearts believe it. But life throws a lot of Ys at everyone. Second, survival bias. 10 owners feel fine. The 11th meets a cliff, and we build a story only from the cliff. Third, amplification. A single dramatic obituary travels farther than hundreds of quiet mornings. Tabloids don't print. Man drinks tea, lives to 87. They print explorer defies curse, dies anyway. Fourth, materials and meaning. Objects that touched grief funerary statues, war medals, letters from disaster sites carry a weight you can feel. Is it a spirit? Or the human ability to stand near sorrow and sense it? But I don't want to talk you out of wonder, because some things truly are hard to hold. See the Iceman, a body pulled from a melting glacier. Several people connected to his discovery later died in accidents. Not all, but enough to make headlines. Is it statistics in a dangerous environment? Or did we poke a story that poked back? Uluru in Australia. Decades of tourists mailed rocks back to the park with apology letters. Since we took a piece, we've had nothing but bad luck. A curse? Or a heavy conscience that turned every setback into a message? Here's the thought that keeps me up. Curses work when we cooperate. When a museum labels something haunted, visitors forget to breathe and suddenly feel watched. When a family swears a ring ruins marriages, tension rises before vows are even exchanged. Belief is an ingredient. So is suggestion. So is fear. But that doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means something human is happening. And the human mind is powerful enough to make a room colder by memory alone. I'll give you one more story because it refuses to sit still. A painting called The Hands Resist Him, sometimes nicknamed the eBay Haunted Painting. Owners reported that figures in the painting moved. Security cams caught shifting shadows. Later debunked as light changes and camera artifacts. Still, show that image to a room and watch how quickly it gets quiet. Some art is built to trouble the air. So where do I land after opening the cabinet? Cursed artifacts are real in two ways. First, as legends that stick because they fit how we think the perfect shape of fear. Second, as objects that carry toxic chemistry, dangerous histories, or heavy meanings our bodies don't ignore. If you keep one rule, keep this. Never mock a warning. Handle the past with gloves, literal or metaphorical. Respect the people who came before. And if something feels wrong, put it down. Now it's your turn. Which object still worries you, even after the evidence? The Hope Diamond? Tutankhamun's tomb? A painting you wouldn't hang in your house no matter how many experts explained it? Tell me in the comments. I want to read your stories, especially the ones you only tell at 1 o'clock. If this journey into the dark corners of history gave you chills, hit like, subscribe Sensei Mystery, and share it with a friend who says, it's just a story, right before the lights go out. Watch next. Labubu toy, cursed or just a myth? The truth behind the mystery, the past isn't done with us. Sometimes it sits quietly on a shelf and waits for a hand